Okay, everyone, welcome to the last West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Call of 2024. It's December 10th, and we are excited that you're here. So without further ado, I'll kick it over to Amber to get us started with our partner spotlight.
Yeah, so I would like to just say thank you all for continued participation on these calls. We're really excited about it's grown every month, so that's awesome. Without further ado, we have some updates on the back end after this one, but we want to introduce Carol Phillips, who is with West Virginia Women Work, who is going to be our partner spotlight today. So Carol, you want to take it away?
Yeah, thanks, Amber. Hey guys, I'm Carol. I'm the executive director at West Virginia Women Work. Um, we're probably most well known for our Step Up for Women in Construction pre-apprenticeship program. We also have an advanced manufacturing pre-apprenticeship program in the Charleston area. So we're both in Morgantown and Charleston. We have Partner Up mentorship program. Skill Up is our online soft skills training program. Um, so our pre-apprenticeship program is 12 weeks, and in that, adult women 18 to, I think our oldest student we've had in recent memory is 62. Um, uh, receive soft skills training and everything from goal setting, budgeting, resume assistance, interviewing, a lot of career ex can't talk, sorry, exploration for just non-traditional roles in manufacturing, carpentry, electrical work, just all the skilled trades, auto mechanic. Um, the programs are free. We provide supportive services for the students. So we buy their boots, their tools, pay mileage, those things while they're in the class. Um, Construction is 12 weeks, manufacturing is 10 weeks. They meet with employers, do site tours, do hands-on training. And the goal really is to take the women from unemployment or underemployment to, employed in these non-traditional high-paying jobs with benefits. The mentorship program is just across the board. We get students that are, struggling with housing or looking to expunge their record, clear to deciding whether they should go into a graduate program or law school or, should I have a third child? So it's really open to anything that, a young woman would need mentorship for. Um, what we're probably not known very well for is our workforce development initiatives. So we do respectful workplace plans and training. Um, we do a lot of review of internal equity policies and helping companies diversify and recruit and retain, talented workforce, which, if you're an employer, that's the hardest part maybe about your supply chain. Um, we do, some national tradeswomen advocacy work. Um, but a lot of, like I said, our work is with West Virginia employers, just whether that's recruiting people for, skilled trades, manufacturing positions, helping retain those people, providing supportive services to women, in their first 3, 6, 9 months of employment. Those are always the hardest part for folks as they're seeing increased income and maybe losing access to other supportive services. West Virginia Women Work can step in and, help out with things like maybe, um, getting tools for the job. Maybe they need a little bit of grocery support, utility support, those things, just as they're starting to build up that savings account. And a lot, I would say on average, between 75 and 80% of the women in our programs graduate and obtain employment. We joke, especially right now in West Virginia, if you want a job, we can definitely connect you with a job. Um, and so for next year will be our 25th birthday. So for 25 years, we've been placing women in careers. And I think that's probably one of the strongest things we bring to the table is we have thousands of alumni. And so whether it's in steel workers or, working in chemical manufacturing, carpenters, working on highway positions, just in all of these fields, we have alumni that are working there. So there's this entire support network. Even if you aren't, maybe a woman isn't working for the same company, working in the same field and being able to connect them for mentorship. Um, and I think that just improves quality of life, gives them a little bit of empowerment, a little bit of stick with itness and grit. Um, and so it helps employers, it helps workplaces, just in that essence with retention. Um, our classes usually start, we host those twice a year. They start in March. Actually, we just advertised, like on our social media now, we're doing our first ever construction slash heavy equipment operator training in partnership with Coalfield Development out of our Dunbar location. So that's going to be a pretty intense 5 week boot camp. And we're able to do that because we recently were able to purchase our first ever, like our own training facility in Dunbar. We purchased the old Fifth Ward School, which is about 18,000 square feet. So just really excited about that because we're able to offer these big expanded services, share our space, our training facilities with other organizations. So that's just briefly about us. We're enrolling for class now, and thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, Carol. I'm really appreciative that you were able to share the information about West Virginia Women Works and that we can continue having conversations. And thank you for training women across the state of West Virginia for, having different types of skills. And we would love to help them turn those skills into businesses and maybe second income entrepreneurs or any of those folks that want to start businesses. So thank you for sharing your information on West Virginia Women Work. All right, we're going to switch gears real quick. Amber, we should talk about Bridging Innovation Week, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
We've got a lot of questions about Bridging Innovation Week. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so Bridging Innovation Week, we are coming up on it. 2025, we're heading to Shepherdstown. So we will be in Shepherdstown April 28th through May 2nd. Now, all of the events are not up here yet. I know we still have a couple pending. I know we're in conversations with Doc about doing another Seeds for Black Business on Monday, but right now, Max Knapp's doing his entrepreneurship acquisition and succession workshop on Monday. We're going to have a kickoff. 3 of the Eastern Panhandle chambers are going to be hosting us for a welcome evening Monday night. So that's April 28th, and we hope to see all of you there. But our big day is Tuesday, which is the conference. So a lot of you have been asking, can I speak at the conference? And the answer is yes, you can apply to speak at the conference. So the call for proposals is open right now. They close this Sunday, which is the 15th. So we will share all of this information in the chat. It's always in the follow-up emails. But if you have not seen this and you are interested in speaking around a topic on a workshop for the West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Conference, which is, of course, always Tuesday during that week, you can submit right here. So all of that information, if you go to the website, click view call for proposals guidelines, you can read all the information, how they're scored. Just so you know, Amber and I do not score them. Please don't call us and ask for favors. We don't do that. It's an outside committee that reviews these. If you hit click to submit on that last page, it'll just take you to this link right here. All you have to do is fill it out. I know some of you have had issues. You can't open Google Docs. You can go ahead and just email it to Jen. She would love to hear from you. So Jen will be dropping all that stuff and her information if you have any questions. But yes, you can still apply to speak during Bridging Innovation Week during the Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Conference. All right, Amber, can you tell us a little bit about intentional collisions?
Perfect. So intentional collisions, and actually, Tara, do you mind pulling that back up? And I'm going to ask Jen. We also are actively seeking reviewers for the workshop. So we have a form if you're interested in not necessarily putting in to speak, but to help us select who will be reviewing those proposals. Like Tara said, we do not review or score them. We have external people do that. So if you're interested in reviewing, Jen will drop a sign up form for that. So right now, the 2 open opportunities are the call for proposals and intentional collisions. And intentional collisions will be taking place that morning, and you can think of it like speed dating for entrepreneurs and resource providers. So right now, we're looking for resource providers. They can be people that provide funding, people that provide technical assistance. Maybe you're an organization that provides funding for resource providers. We're looking for folks to sign up to be table partners. So our intentional collision sign up is for you to share a little bit more about what you provide. And then we will be, when registration launches in January, allowing people to sign up for 10-minute meet and greets with folks to get specific resources that they need based on who's in the room. So those are available again through the 15th for sign up. So those are the two best ways to be a part of Bridging Innovation Week, and particularly that Tuesday event right now. And then our general sponsorship is always open. So always welcoming anybody that wants to also be general sponsors for the week.
Okay, so let's just take a quick look at the sponsorship. Gang, you know it's not cheap to rent space, pay for food. We've got to have all the equipment there. So just if you would like to help us out, we are writing grants, but are also actively seeking sponsorship. So I know many of you want to have an exhibitor table. We do not have unlimited tables. So if you are interested in having an exhibitor table, which is different than intentional collisions, it is $250. And we will be sharing, of course, all this stuff goes out in our newsletter after, but we wanted to make sure we addressed it on the call today. If you are interested in sponsoring, Jen is your woman to talk to. All right, Amber, what about the room block?
So we do have room block at the Bavarian, and we have a room block at the Hampton Inn. So we will also be sending that, and that will be up on the site soon, because I know several people have already been reaching out about booking their rooms. So we're really excited. The Bavarian's an awesome destination location, and they've been really generous to work with us. So we're looking forward to being able to provide a discounted rate through there, which is so close to Shepherd University for the event. So, okay. All right. If there's any questions or anything, if anybody wants to explore opportunities, please reach out to Jen, myself, and Tara, and we're happy to also jump on a call to talk about what this could look like. So without further ado, we will go ahead and throw it over to our first 2-minute spotlight for an organization with Mon Forest Town. So Josh, you want to tell us a little bit about what you've got going on?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for the invitation. I'm glad to be here. The Mom Forest Towns Partnership is a coalition of 12 towns and so many dedicated partners across the Monongahela National Forest region in West Virginia. We're committed to the goal of growing a strong, sustainable outdoor recreation economy that enhances the quality of life for both residents and visitors by providing the best outdoor experience. While we love the name of our national forest, we often affectionately refer to it as the Mon, instead of saying Monongahela over and over again. And our towns are Cowan, Davis, Durbin, Elkins, Franklin, Marlinton, Parsons, Petersburg, Richwood, Seneca Rocks, Thomas, and White Sulphur Springs. And our young organization is currently under the programmatic umbrella of Woodlands Development and Lending in Elkins. We cast a pretty wide net when we're talking about outdoor recreation economy. And as a result, our work goes much deeper than marketing and trails development, which seems to be what first comes to mind when talking about outdoor economy. Our work also includes community health and wellness, supporting business and workforce development, community planning, strategies for dealing with legacy infrastructure, and a lot more, really. The partnership has been working together in some capacity since 2017, and it formalized as a 501c3 in 2023 and hired me, Josh Neese, as the executive director and their first employee. We built considerable momentum over the last year and a half, and part of that momentum is an Appalachian Regional Commission Power Grant that will help to promote the region as a recreation destination and establish our towns as recreation hubs. We're going to continue and expand the Mon Forest Business Initiative, which provides one-on-one business coaching and third-party expertise and services to businesses. I got you. And we'll also be procuring different design services for several different things for our organization in our towns. And so we got a lot of good stuff going on. And if you're interested in learning more, I'll drop my contact information and website into the chat.
Perfect. Thanks, Josh. We're excited about all the things going on at the Mon Forest Town. So thanks for sharing that information. Okay, next up, Will Miller. So first of all, congratulations on your new role as director at the Small Business Development Center. And then we would love to hear more about the child care grant. If you could share some information with us about that.
Sure thing. Thank you for that introduction. I am technically the interim director, so hopefully it becomes a permanent thing, but as of right now, I'm the interim. We are very excited. We received at the West Virginia Department of Economic Development, received an ARC grant, a power grant, to help address the child care issue in the state. We all know that finding child care, finding spaces, keeping child care providers open, keeping businesses open because their employees need child care is a real issue. So this grant is a 2-year project. It is a pilot project. So this is to try to alleviate some of those problems when it comes to workforce. It's through the West Virginia Department of Economic Development, which I work for at the SBDC. We also partnered with the Workforce Resiliency Office and a private company called Wonder School. The project is two mainfold. One is a child care business assistance program. So this is a program designed for existing child care providers. So it doesn't matter if you just have 2 kids or you have a full-blown child care center with lots and lots of children and employees. We're going to work with this private company who specializes in this, and they're going to help assist with helping you grow your business. We're also going to help hopefully start new businesses. The second part is the TriShare program. This is a pilot program where the cost of childcare is split across a employer, the employee, and a match from the state. And all 3 of those portions will go towards a provider. I am going to put the press release in the chat. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. And just for everyone's information, it is Boone, Jackson, Kanawha, Lincoln, Mason, Putnam, Roane, and Wirt counties. So thank you. I feel like I should thank my agent while we're at it with that music. So thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Will. That's such an important opportunity. And I know it's a big hot topic for a lot of the folks that are looking to start businesses and are working in current businesses that are struggling with that. So excited to see what will come of that. All right. We have an exciting update from Goldman Sachs, the 10K Small Businesses Program. So Olivia, do you want to tell us what's going on?
Yes, thank you so much, Amber. Hi, I'm Olivia Freeland, and I'm an analyst on the 10,000 Small Businesses team. Today, I'm joining you to share some exciting news that we're graduating our first cohort of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses in West Virginia this Friday, and we're very excited at Bridge Valley Community Technical College in Charleston. And so, for those of you who have joined previous calls with my colleague Adam Gannick, the West Virginia Program Executive Director, and Terry Cyphers, you'll all know that this West Virginia cohort is a part of Goldman Sachs' $100 million investment in rural communities. So the education program is a 12-week-long program with rigorous business education delivered by Bridge Valley faculty, leveraging curriculum developed by Babson College. The program is completely free for all participants, so it's all expense paid by the Goldman Sachs Foundation. And so with that context, we would love to extend an invite for all of you to attend on Friday. We'll be celebrating 26 small business owners graduating from all across the state. They've completed the program and are set out to implement their growth. They include a business that flies visitors in a new River George in a restored World War II era 84-year-old plane, which is very cool. We also have another business run by a husband and wife who are prepared to hand it over to their daughter. And we have 2 businesses that are focused on music in the cohort. We want to extend the invitation to the entire West Virginia entrepreneurship ecosystem, as well as all of your networks. So we'll send an invite following after this call, but please be sure to register by the end of the day so we can have your name badge printed and you can get in, no problem. Amber, would you mind putting the link in the chat below? So please, if you have any questions, feel free to follow up. My email is olivia.friedland, FRIEDLAND, @gs.com. And we would really love to see you there. Thank you.
Perfect timing, Olivia. I just dropped that website as well as your email address into the chat for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, next up, we're going to keep it moving. So Charleston Innovation Center. So we've got an upcoming cohort, it sounds like, for January. Alyssa, are you on?
Yes.
Perfect. Sending over to you.
Thank you. So, hi everyone. I'm Alyssa Covert. I'm the program manager at our University of Charleston Downtown Innovation Hub. Right now, we are recruiting for our 4th cohort of businesses to participate in our Business Accelerator program. And this group of businesses will participate in a free training program that focuses on overcoming key barriers to growth over a 6-month period. So for 1 full day each month, we meet at our office in downtown Charleston to discuss a new topic as a group. And we also have the opportunity for one-on-one coaching sessions with each participating company. The sessions we go through are fostering an innovative mindset, operations and lean processes, marketing and sales strategy, profit mastery, which is split into 2 sessions. And our final session is our business showcase, which is an opportunity for each participant to share what they've learned, where they are now, where they're heading. We're taking applications now for participants in the upcoming cohort, which starts January 14th. So if you are interested or you know anyone who would benefit, please share the application link with them. I'll add that to the chat here in a moment, or stop by our office to learn more. Like I said, I will share the application link as well as my email. I'll share the email of our program director, Dr. Russell Asbar. And I'll also add the program flyer if I can.
Yep.
In the chat there. But on January 14th, we're very excited. We have a partnership with the Global Innovation Management Institute, and their CEO, Dr. Hitendra Patel, will be joining us in person to provide that content. So it'll be a fun time for everybody, us included, not just the participants. So we really look forward to that one. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out after. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And I know that Kim and I on our team are actually taking one of the innovation certifications because we found out about it from your program. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, Tara, I heard you have money to give away.
I do. So I just threw in the chat. I've got lots of things to say about Ignite West Virginia. I've always got a lot of things to say. I'm sure everyone on here already knows that. But first of all, I wanted to say shout out to Mountain Craft because we have our videos up on the website and I'm loving them. So I get a lot of the same questions over and over. So now you can send people to the FAQs page, which I just dropped in the chat. So make sure you check that out. We have a little over a month left to compete in Ignite West Virginia. So round 1 entries are currently open. They close January 22nd by noon. This competition is open to anyone 18 and older in the state of West Virginia. It can be your idea, or it can be an existing business that wants to expand. We have $200,000 in non-diluted funds. In round 1, you're submitting a 90-second pitch video. So we are very excited to see the round 1 entries this year. And then, of course, we do round 2 during Bridging Innovation Week, which, as everyone knows, will be in Shepherdstown in April. So if you want to see more or learn more about Ignite West Virginia, you can follow that link in the chat. So speaking of pitch competitions during Bridging Innovation Week, Kim, what's going on with Spark West Virginia?
Oh, so much, Tara. And so thank you for the introduction. But I also want to thank our round 1 judges. A special shout out in the chat to every single one of them, including you, Tara. Thank you so much for your support in Spark West Virginia. And thank you so much to all of our round 1 judges. We had a lot of really great businesses come together this year. And I'll share a cute little graphic that we have. If you can see that, we had over 120 middle and high school students from West Virginia participate this year from over 20 West Virginia counties, and brought over 81 innovative business ideas to the competition this year. So lots of great things happening there. And we just completed round 1. We're moving into round 2 now. So again, thank you to those round 1 judges for making that possible. And we also have an opportunity to still be involved with Spark West Virginia in our round 2 judging. So we're calling for any individual that would like to join us as a judge for this competition. We're looking for judges across industries, backgrounds, experiences, for the second round, which would consist of reviewing the lean canvas and the pitch deck of the students' businesses. So if you know of someone in your network that might be interested in serving in this opportunity to judge in Spark West Virginia, I'll drop a link in the chat, not only to learn a little bit more about Spark West Virginia and the competition and what's behind it and what's involved, but also to fill out a form to become a judge and take part in this competition. So thank you all so much, and we hope to see you as part of Spark West Virginia this year.
Perfect. Thanks, Kim. Appreciate ya. So I think before we hop into our Secretary of State, SBDC, and entrepreneur updates, we have one final update around Bridging Innovation Week. So Jen, do you want to talk a little bit about what we're looking at for 2026?
Absolutely. Amber, can I share? Am I able? Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So while we are continuing to plan and prepare for Bridging Innovation Week 2025, we also have started thinking about 2026. So yes, we start working on 2026 even before 2025 happens. So tomorrow you will see in the recap from today's meeting the request for information for 2026. It is not very different from the one that you have seen in years past. If you have looked at any of the information previously or considered applying previously, it looks very much the same. But what we're asking you to do is just please take a look at the statement of need, what we're looking for around a host site for Bridging Innovation Week. We have our proposed timeline. We are launching this earlier than we have in the past, so there's no excuse that you didn't get a chance to get your proposal in time. We have the opportunity for you to ask questions via email, and then the submission date will be due to us on March 14th. They will come to me via email. We'll have interviews the week of March 24th through 28th. And if you've been at Bridging Innovation Week, the very cool thing about that is we announce where the next event will take place during Bridging Innovation Week. So we invite whoever is the winning location to come and share, and we really start promoting that even then. So the requirements are listed. If you have any questions, let me know. My contact information is at the bottom, but please take a look at this. Consider having us. We are pretty easy to work with. If Jim was on, I'd let you talk to him about working with us and hosting, but we are happy. We do a lot of the work on our end, but we do, really work closely with the organizations or the multiple organizations in the host cities to make sure that it meets the needs of everybody that may attend. And I didn't have to hear Amber's obnoxious music.
I was like, I love to do it to my own staff.
Done.
Good timing, Jen.
I'll drop that into that document into the chat as well, but it will come in the recap tomorrow.
Perfect. Thanks, Jen. We appreciate it. So just as a friendly reminder and a recap, where we have been for Bridging Innovation Week. The first year we were in Charleston, then we went up to Wheeling. This year we were in Huntington. In 2025, we will be in the Eastern Panhandle. So we are very open to new ideas. So please, please fill out the RFI for 2026. We're looking forward to seeing who would like to host next. All right, so we are going to switch gears, and I am going to turn it over to Landon, who is filling in for Mike Queen today to talk to us about the Secretary of State's Corner. What's going on, Landon?
Hey, thanks, Tara. Again, Landon Palmer, Assistant Communications Director. I work under Mike. I'm going to move pretty quickly here because we have some important issues to cover. The November new business report was released yesterday, and we have 1,222 new businesses registered in the state during the month of November, and that is a record high since March. So we're over 100 more registrations since last month in October. Special shout out to Wirt County, who led the state in growth. The important update that we want to cover from the Secretary of State's Corner is in regard to the U.S. Department of Treasury's beneficial ownership information reports. You might know them as FinCEN. Hopefully all of the businesses and small businesses are aware of this requirement, but the deadline is coming up for businesses that were registered before 2024. Your BOI reports are due by the end of the year. However, the situation is a little bit more complicated now. Because a federal court in Texas has ordered an injunction on FinCEN's BOI reporting requirements. There's a lot of variables here. We don't know if that injunction is going to be overruled or reversed. And also, we don't know if the deadline is going to be moved in light of that injunction. So what we do know is that reporting is still voluntary and it's free to do, and it takes less than 10 minutes. So we can't offer any official guidance, but we would just strongly encourage businesses that aren't going to voluntarily report that information to please monitor this situation closely. It's very fluid. And then the third thing is annual report filings will start back up January 1 of 2025. And those are going to be due by the end of June. So again, wish I had more to share on the FinCEN update. That's a really important issue. But we will try and do what we can. We're actually sending out a press release here later today. And if you want to be included on our press release list, I can add you. Just send me a private message on here. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Landon. Appreciate dropping anything you can in the chat as well for the folks that are on to learn a little bit more about that reporting and those couple of things you covered. Also, shout out Work County. Way to go, guys. Next, we have Will back again to talk about SBDC.
All right, thank you. So SBDC has had a really good year. We are tracking our numbers by calendar year this year. So just give you an idea of what we have accomplished as of today, from January 1 of this year. Our coaches around the state have helped start 62 new businesses. We've served over 1,400 clients. So that's individual clients. We've worked with 1,400 of them. We've been able to get help people get 197 different types of capital injection, whether that be loans, grants, lines of credits, things like that, mostly traditional lending, to the tune of $47.4 million we've been able to bring in this year for businesses around the state. And as a reminder, this is always free, confidential. We partner with the Small Business Administration to help anyone who has an idea, has an existing business, has a business that's in towards the end of its life cycle and you want to sell it. Anything in between there, our coaches can assist you. I would also like to echo what Landon is saying about the reporting for FinCEN. That is very important. We've been trying to remind our clients about that. I am going to put into the chat a link to my calendar. So if anybody on this call has any questions about the SBDC, has any questions about working with us, partnering with us, you're an entrepreneur or know an entrepreneur, please reach out to me. It's going to link right up to my calendar. You pick a time that's best for you and we'll communicate. I'm also going to put a blog post in there that our office put out in August that breaks down some of the reporting stuff for the FinCEN, just so that there's a little more information out there. I know it's kind of a sticky wicket right now. So, and did I beat my time?
Yep.
Perfect timing, Will. And thank you for your engagement with the entrepreneurship ecosystem. We really appreciate it. Okay, next up, Michelle. So can you talk to us about the West Virginia Investment Collaborative? I had the pleasure of joining this month and listening and learning in, and I've had a lot of questions and people are really excited about what you're doing and then how the Entrepreneur Corner, which is next up, came out of that. So maybe you could give a little bit of background on what you're doing over there.
Thank you, Tara. Yeah, I'm Michelle O'Connor with the Nova Commercialization, and I head up the West Virginia Investor Collaborative, which is a group of investors that not necessarily are all based in West Virginia, but have a desire and a real interest in helping West Virginia businesses. So part of that process is what you're going to see next is the Entrepreneur Corner on this monthly call. And to start the process, what we ask is, I think Amber or Kara, you can drop in the application, fill out the application, say, hey, I am thinking of starting a business, or I have a business, or I need help with my business. I need to expand it, grow it, whatever it is. And we'll take that application. You'll hear from me and we'll have a call and we'll talk about next steps. What does that look like? Is it a 2-minute pitch because you just need some information to get out to the ecosystem? Or are you needing funding? And that would be a 5-minute pitch. And then that gives our investor syndicate, the investor collaborative, that first exposure to who you are. They get to see who you are. And then we have a whole process that I can work with you on getting you connected to those investors and those next steps after you fill out that application. So we're working through that. But one of the exciting things is I want you to mark your calendars is January the 29th at 10 a.m. We will be hosting a webinar with our investor collaborative, which will then give everybody an opportunity to meet everybody who's part of the investor collaborative and ask questions. And it'll be a panel discussion. And so we hope that you will mark your calendars for January the 29th at 10 a.m. We hope to have that invite out soon with ability to sign up. It will be recorded, but we want you to be there live to ask questions. So with that, Tara, I'll hand it over.
Thanks. I think it's actually coming to me, Michelle.
Okay.
I just have to laugh at Tara and I's like synced brain. So there is no reason you shouldn't
Doubled
be able
up.
to fix that application. Okay, great. So now we're going to dive into our entrepreneurs, and I'm excited to introduce our first one, Sam, who is going to talk about Almost Heaven Goods.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Sure can.
All right. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for having me today. As Amber said, my name is Sam Salento. I'm a Morgantown native, but I currently living in Bridgeport with my wife and 2 kids. And I'm here today to talk about almostheavengoods.com, which is a website I'm starting to build in order to showcase West Virginia companies making West Virginia goods. I got my inspiration for the site after attending the West Virginia Governor's Export Award ceremony in each of the past 2 years as part of my day job, where I sell software for Lakota Software, which is a Fairmont, West Virginia small business. If you don't know about the ceremony, it presents awards annually to West Virginia companies who export to new international markets. And while attending the ceremony, the first time I realized that there were a lot of West Virginia businesses making really cool products, from roasted coffee to custom furniture and woodwork, custom automotive parts. And even one company that was making scary movie set props, which was pretty cool. And they were selling all over the world. So, I've lived in West Virginia for all but 3 years of my 43 years. So I didn't realize that there were that many amazing companies in the state doing a lot of cool things. So that said, I'm looking to turn Almost Heaven Goods into a site that features these companies through blog posts, e-commerce listings, and maybe eventually paid ads. The site is in its very early stages, but I'm looking to connect with members of the ecosystem that are interested in helping me build it out, or any West Virginia companies that are interested in featuring their goods on the site. At a minimum, I'd love to connect and learn more about your business, and then offer a free blog post telling your company story to post on the site. And before I go, I just want to thank Michelle O'Connor and Todd Crump for the guidance that you guys have given me so far. I'll put my information in the chat now, and thanks again for your time.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. We hope that you can attend Bridging Innovation Week, and maybe you can recruit people. We'll just throw people over to you and you get them on the website.
Yeah, mark that down for sure. Thank you.
Awesome.
I know where I'm shopping for Christmas next year.
That's right. Almost Heaven Goods. Okay, next up, Shelly Johnson. I heard you have a new business opening up in Morgantown, West Virginia. What's going on?
There we go. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. So yeah, thank you, Tara. And thank you for telling me about the ecosystem. I just learned about this yesterday, so I am brand new here. And what I love to hear is that there are so many West Virginia resources. I'm really excited about this. So yeah, almost a year ago, I decided to kind of shift gears. For 27 years, my life has been about interior design, and that's been my career. But now I want to open a vintage ice cream shop. So sounds completely different. I'm reinventing myself. I have 3 or 4 other jobs or businesses ideas in my head that will come after that, but I got to start somewhere. So I want to start with this first one, being vintage, kind of throwback to the 1950s, a simpler time, something that is, everybody loves ice cream, and it also will help support other local small businesses in Morgantown. Because I'm going to feature, there's like a bakery that does vegan goods and gluten-free and stuff like that. And then there's, people that do charcuterie boards and people that do biscuits for dogs and all of those kinds of things. So I'm going to have sort of a little small market type of thing for people to come in and purchase other locally made goods. But my main thing will be the ice cream. So I'm looking forward to it. And what I really need is support. I need people to help me with the technical assistance stuff. the funding, everything. I don't know exactly where I'm going yet, but whether I need an investor or whether I need a loan, but any help from anyone would be greatly appreciated. And my contact info I'll throw in here is it's going to be called the Parlor at Woodburn. So parlor@woodburn@gmail.com is the email address to reach out to me. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your help.
Great, thank you so much. And I love ice cream. So you have found a customer here at least.
Yay.
Perfect. All right, so now we're going to move into our 2 5-minute pitches. So first up, we have Jay. Next Est. I thought I would butcher your business name, and that is my apologies. But Jay, you want to take it away?
All right. Oh, we good?
Yep. Whenever you're
Okay.
ready.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jay Cipoletti. The last name's harder to pronounce than the company name. Next Test Performance is my company. I have a background in coaching. Professionally, I've been a youth soccer coach, college and professional basketball analyst, have an academic background in coaching and sport performance. And for the past 6 years, I've served as head coach of John Adams Middle School Lady Falcons soccer program. We've been fairly successful. And one of the pillars of that success has been the performance testing that we have done. We started it year one in 2019, and I went into it with the belief that anything worth doing is worth measuring. So we rolled out a series of performance tests. We fine-tuned them over the next couple of years, and for the last 4 years, we've had the same battery of performance tests each preseason, which has allowed the players to understand exactly what we value in the program and track their progress from 6th grade through 7th grade, through 8th grade. And inevitably, our best testers end up being our best players each year. So the whole concept of Next Test is to take that performance testing out into the marketplace, starting with soccer. It works because we measure what matters. There's a strong correlation between the tests that we have and performance on the field. So you could see, and this is applicable to soccer, obviously, but pretty much any team sport and most individual sports. These are the same types of measures that you want to test and track. So, we have an opportunity. Initially, this was a long-term partnership that was looking at Capital Sports Complex in Charleston, but right now we have an opportunity to begin testing as early as February or March of 2025. Those would be the things that we go in with a sample club. We would do U9 through U18 and then track their progress each season. The benefits are multiple. For coaches, obviously, you can identify your top performers. Each season, I've done it with my program. There have been players that tested that popped a little bit that were outliers, and it forces you to take a different view of them. And a lot of times it gives you an opportunity to put them in situations to be successful that you wouldn't have otherwise. For players, immediately, they know strengths and weaknesses. This is what I have to work on. This is what I'm good at. This is how I can be successful. And for trainers, it establishes those physiological baselines, lets them know what the players need to work on from a strength and conditioning standpoint. And in the event of injury, we now have a baseline to work back to. So return to play is very difficult. The greatest risk of injury is prior injury. So when you get back to your pre-injury levels, you've minimized your re-injury risk. And that's very important. You hear it all the time, that availability is one of the most important abilities any athlete can have. So let's see how it works. We take one of those individual players and we go through the battery of tests. And green is good. Red is an area we need to work. So immediately they look at their report and the player says, all right, my weak foot, I need to work on. Most players are right-footed, so my left foot I need to work on. And my beep test, if you're pacer test, yo-yo test, I need to get in better shape. So a coach looks at that and says, I need to put her in situations where she's forced to use her left foot in practice But when we play in matches, I need to put her in situations where we could take advantage of that really strong right foot and that explosiveness. So she's going to be the one getting go ball in the air and heading home goals in the box. The trainer looks at that and says she's explosive, which is a bilateral measure, but she's got a weak left foot on flighted service, and her 5.10.5 agility is a little bit slower than we expect it to be. There might be a deficiency or an asymmetry in that left leg that we need to work on to get stronger and to reduce injury risk. So our rollout, as I said, we're trying to get started in February or March of 2025 with a couple local clubs. Once that's in place, we start rolling out throughout West Virginia and surrounding states. We have over 100 travel soccer clubs within West Virginia and surrounding states, average of over 200 players at $140 per player per year. That's pretty significant initial revenue. And then I'm in initial discussions with U.S. Soccer to standardize this measurement and this battery of tests so they can evaluate players throughout the entire United States for their youth national teams. There's my contact information. That is our initial ask to get started and take advantage of this opportunity. If anybody has any questions, please reach out. Thank you all.
Wow, Jay, that was perfect timing. Great job. If you don't mind, add your information to the chat in case anyone wants to reach out to you directly. And last, but certainly not least, John, can you talk to us about your pharma company?
Yes, thanks very much for asking me. Let me just share my screen here real quick. And oh, it says sharing's not turned on.
Okay, you might have to go back into it, but you should be able to now, John.
Okay, I think we got it now. Maybe share. Is it working?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, thanks very much. So I'm John Barnett. I'm the President and Chief Scientific Officer for a small pharmaceutical company in Morgantown. And we're developing a small molecule drug to prevent disease-induced bone degradation. So as we get started here, let me just give you a quick primer on bone health here. So bones are not static pieces of calcium. In fact, what happens each day and every minute of each day is that bone is broken down by one kind of cell called an osteoclast. A new bone is built in its place by another cell called an osteoblast. And what we have in situations where we have different kinds of arthritis and different cancers is that the cell that breaks down the bone, the osteoclast, its activity gets excessive. And so the balance is off and you get more bone broken down than you get rebuilt. And so we're developing this drug that we think is going to be a big help for that. And there are two drugs that are basically competitors for us. So one's called a bisphosphonate, the other's called a biologic. So let me just kind of compare them here for you. Oops, sorry. Oh, I'm missing. So there we go. Here's our drug on the left-hand side here. ELP-004 is what we call it. It has very few side effects, works directly on those cells that cause the bone to break down. So it brings that whole paradigm of osteoclast breaking down bone and osteoblasts building new bone back into balance so that they're perfectly balanced like normal. And if you compare it to the bisphosphonates, for example, which has numerous side effects. For example, there's something called osteonecrosis of the jaw, which is really a terrible, disfiguring condition. You can get fever, flu-like symptoms, etc., bone and joint pain. And it's most effective when it's given intravenous, whereas ours is oral administration. So you just pop a pill once or twice a day and you're good. Petties to produce our drug, which makes it a low cost to the patient, hopefully, and a very high profit margin. Whereas the bisphosphonates are quite expensive and it costs a lot of money for patients. And then the biologics they're sort of the favorite of a lot of rheumatologists now, and that's things like Humira and Etanercept. The problem is that they work by directly inhibiting the immune system. And so therefore you get a suppression of your immune system, which causes increased infections and sometimes cancer as a result of that. Because of the nature of the drug, it has to be administered by injection, which means you have to have cold chain custody, meaning you have to be able to receive it while it's frozen, and it's very expensive for patients. So this slide shows you how our drug is effective. So what we have here is a mouse model of arthritis, and here's a model of a mouse's paw and joint here. And here's the one that did not get our drug, and you can see its spots here and here and here and here and here. There's a lot of erosion illustrated by these arrows here. And then if you look closely at this point right here at this joint, you can just see big areas where they're eroded here. Here's a mouse with the same disease establishment, and you can see that in those areas where we had a lot of erosion in the vehicle treated animal, we don't have any to speak of here. So it works really well from that perspective. Our intellectual property is protected. The patent's owned by West Virginia University and University of Pittsburgh and Temple University. And I have an exclusive worldwide license to develop this drug. So the market of this is very, very high. Arthritis is about 53 billion market in arthritis, and rheumatoid arthritis is a major indication for it, but also osteoarthritis and osteoporosis, which are very common in people, which adds to the market value of it. There's something called degenerative trauma-induced arthritis, which causes unfitting conditions for U.S. service personnel and affects athletes. And then something we're really quite excited about is there's bone thinning caused by microgravity. And we have, I'll show you a slide next, actually put our drug into the space station to be produced there with the hope that it'll improve its effectiveness. Several kinds of cancers cause bone disease, multiple myeloma, breast cancer, and prostate cancer are about almost 800,000 cases a year of these different kinds of cancers, and they all have bone problems with them. So they got to move on. Here's our drug that went to space. It's coming back day after tomorrow. We need about $10 million. We've got a lot of things done here, and we're looking for partners for this, and it also works with myeloma. And here's our QR code for people who want to take a shot of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. This is so so impactful and such an important problem that you're working to solve. So appreciate you hopping on here, and we will hope to get you some of that support to continue to expand your work. All right. As we wrap up, if anybody has any other updates they'd like us to mention on the call, or if they want to be featured in the follow-up email, please feel free to drop those in the chat now, and we will call on you to give me an update. I knew it. I just had this feeling that somebody from Advantage Valley wanted to talk today. Marjorie?
Hey there. Just a heads up, we happen to have an RFP out there, and it's an RFP for a consultant, a part-time consultant to help disadvantaged businesses receive certification. We're talking businesses, women-owned, minority-owned, and veteran-owned, and this is something that the RFP is only open for the next, 6 days, but this is a great group to get the message out. Our goal is to help certify businesses in the Advantage Valley regions to get these certifications, which of course can open many doors for opportunities, supply chain opportunities to plug in at some of our corporations. So just a heads up.
Awesome. Thank you. That's incredible. Hopefully somebody in here will be able to help. I know that we have, that always comes up, like getting more of our West Virginia businesses officially certified in several of those designations. Gives you a nice perk on some federal dollars as well.
So
Tara, there's a
out,
question. Anything on the
link.
Sorry. Thank you. Thanks, Marjorie. Sorry about that.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I can give a quick update. Yes, Carrie and I have been working with Marshall County. We are still in the information gathering phase, but that's really specific to Marshall County. So if you live in Marshall County, we're happy to chat with you if you're not already involved in that project. All right, Marjorie, we got that in the chat. Thank you.
Any other updates? Oh, and Andy, yeah.
Hey, afternoon, everybody. I'm going to drop a link in the chat for my newsletter. I just posted 4 solicitations, or will have posted 4 solicitations, all through ERDIC, which is Engineering Research Development, through the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So some solicitations for cold recent Arctic infrastructure construction advantages, shaping the future of bridge crossings, and a couple more that should be coming out by the end of the day. So feel free to reach out if you want to know more about that, but keep a look on my newsletter for when more opportunities like that come up. All right, thanks.
Thanks, Andy. And of course, if anyone would like to go ahead and get on the calendar for January, I know it feels like so far away, but we're really just a couple weeks away. So if you have any spring events that you would like to talk about on the January call, you can email myself or you can email Amber and we'll get you on the agenda. But we are already gearing up for 2025. Okay, well, if we don't have any other news to share, then we will say goodbye to 2024. Thank you to each and every one of you that have participated and supported the ecosystem. We're really looking forward to what's to come.
Thanks, everyone. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Fresh start. See you in January.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.